Hello everyone, this is Michael's Wrestling Review, and as you can see in the title below, these will be my predictions for the 2021 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Never felt like we were going to get here after the steaming shit pile that 2020 left on our doorstep, but we're here. I hope you all are safe. I hope you all are doing everything you can to help slow the spread of coronavirus, so hopefully we can, knock on wood, all be back at a live wrestling show very, very soon. This is actually the first Rumble pay-per-view in a few years now that I'm actually intrigued and excited by, because the last few years, you kind of had an idea of who was going to win each Rumble match. Like last year, you knew that Drew was going to win. Everybody kind of thought Shayna might win, but in the back of my head, I'm like, it's kind of Charlotte's time. The year before, you knew that Seth and Becky were going to win. And then the year before that, you kind of knew Nakamura was going to win, and then you knew for sure Asuka was going to win. Because that was the way they were going to fix their fuck up with her being brought up to the main roster. And they still fucked it up. But this year, there is a lot of mystery around who's going to win each Rumble, I think. The men's Rumble, you've heard the name, like Daniel Bryan's been thrown out, Big E's thrown out, Sheamus is thrown out, and interestingly enough, Brock Lesnar has been climbing the betting odds every single day for about the last week. He's now second or third on most betting sites, which it's not always accurate, but it's like Adam Pacitti says, you trust the bookies, you trust where the money is. More than likely, Brock Lesnar is going to be one of the last few left in the Royal Rumble match. And then in the Women's Royal Rumble match, you don't really have a clear favorite this year. To me, if I had to bet money on it, I would probably bet on Alexa Bliss just because of the run she's kind of been on. But you really don't know. And I believe there's only 11 women announced for the Women's Royal Rumble and only 15 men announced for the Men's Royal Rumble match. So there's a lot of room for surprises, for returns. So that's why I'm really excited for this year's Royal Rumble pay-per-view. It looks like there's going to be 4 undercard matches. One of them is not official yet, but I would assume that will be made official Friday night on SmackDown. I'm recording this Thursday, so if there are more matches added, let's just assume I got them right, because I'm not predicting them. But the way I'm going to do it is, on the first 4 undercard matches, I'm going to have who I want to win and who I think will win. And then when I get to the Rumble matches, there will be several, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different things I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about like who I want to win, who I think will win, winner who will piss everybody off, and so on and so forth. But let's get to the undercard matches first. For the Universal Championship, last man standing, Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. This is going to be quick. This is going to be easy. Who I want to win is Roman Reigns because he's on the best run of his career. Paul Heyman has breathed new life into the career of Roman Reigns. Who will win? Roman Reigns is going to win. He's going to be the champion going into WrestleMania. Unless something completely fucking odd happens and Vince McMahon just, doesn't know where he's at that day and decides, all right, man, Kevin Owens is going to win. Not going to happen. Roman's going to win. The WWE title match. Oh, why is this match fucking happening? Goldberg does not need to be in a title match. It's 2021. This was cool 4 years ago. It's not cool anymore. It's fucking stupid. You're telling me that there's nobody else on the Raw roster that could have had this match? You could have done Sheamus and Drew at the Royal Rumble and still gotten to where you need to be for WrestleMania. Who I want to win is Drew McIntyre. Who will win, I believe, is Drew McIntyre, because I can't believe Vince McMahon is going to be so fucking stupid to, again, take one of your hottest acts in the company and feed them to a 50-something-year-old man who can't wrestle more than 2 minutes without getting winded. You saw it at WrestleMania with Braun Strowman. After about 2 spears, he was gassed, he was breathing heavy. That's not the kind of guy you need in your title picture. The way this match should go is, Goldberg gets a clothesline or something, he lines up for the spear, he bounces off the ropes, Drew fucking claymores him in his stupid fucking forehead, and the match is over. The match should go about 30 seconds, Drew should win, and it will build him up for whoever is his challenger at WrestleMania. But Vince, I would not put it past Vince McMahon to do something completely fucking stupid and have Goldberg win. The SmackDown Women's title match, like I said, this isn't officially announced yet, but it's probably going to happen because I think Carmella gets a title shot because she let Sasha wrestle her manservant, Virgil, whatever the fuck he is. I don't really know. But yeah, I don't really care who wins, but if I had to pick somebody who I want, I'll pick Sasha because I hate this fucking version of Carmella. It's stupid. It's Emelina. It's what Emelina would have been more than likely. Who will win is Sasha. She's not going to lose. I think we'll probably get Sasha and Bayley at WrestleMania, which that's been done to death already. But Vince likes to have the same matches like 5 months in a row because he has nothing creative to do anymore. But so Sasha's going to win. And the women's tag team title match, this is another one that is pretty cut and dry. Charlotte and Asuka will not be the women's tag team champions going into WrestleMania. Who I want to win is Nia and Shayna. They should have never lost the belts in the first place. Who will win? Nia and Shayna will win. Probably due to interference from Ric Flair and or Lacey Evans. I do think this is fucking hilarious. That Ric Flair... I really hope Flair shows up like he drops like a bottle of Viagra or something out of his pocket. That would be pretty fucking funny. But, Nia and Shayna are going to win. I would assume the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble will probably challenge Sasha. Because I think they'll probably do Charlotte and Asuka at WrestleMania again. And more than likely, Asuka will get her win back from WrestleMania 34. But we'll see. Vince has done some dumb shit in the past, and he'll probably do some dumb shit this year. Okay, so now to the biggest part of what's going to happen in this video are the women's and men's Royal Rumble matches. I personally would have either Goldberg and Drew open, or I would have the women's Royal Rumble match open. But, so I'm going to start with some of like the smaller things that I think could happen and will happen. I think the quickest elimination will be Billie Kay. She'll probably try to give somebody her resume and they'll kick her out of the ring. I think the Iron Woman of the Royal Rumble will be Bayley. I would have Bayley start very early and if it's going to be her and Sasha, maybe have Bayley win. I don't really want to see that. Bayley doesn't need to win the Royal Rumble. You can get Sasha and Bayley another way if you need to. The NXT entry. And what I mean by NXT entries is somebody from NXT who has not previously been in a Royal Rumble match. So it can't be like Candice LeRae or Io Shirai or Tegan Knox, even though she's hurt, Dakota Kai, any of those. I think it'll be Rena Gonzalez. I think she'll have a very impressive showing. I expect big things from Rena Gonzalez in NXT this year. If Mercedes Martinez isn't the one to beat Io Shirai, I think it will probably be Rena Gonzalez. And her and Dakota can feud over the belt. Okay, so now surprises. I'm going to have realistic surprises and unrealistic surprises. Okay, so and by what I mean by unrealistic is there's really no way it's probably going to fucking happen, but it would be really cool if it did. And then realistic surprises is it could happen, it might not, but it's more realistic than the other ones. So that's pretty much the only breakdown I have between those. For my realistic surprises, I have Melina and Victoria. Victoria's been rumored since the first one, and then Melina supposedly was going to come back, rumored to be with Angel Garza. She hasn't come back yet. I think she will be back at some point. But personally, with Zelina Vega gone, I would put her with Andrade, but Vince doesn't always do what's smart. And then for my unrealistic surprises, they are Tessa Blanchard, who nobody seems to want to touch with a 10-foot pole right now, and AJ Lee. The AJ Lee thing's not going to happen. She's done wrestling, she said. Even if Punk would come back, she has no interest in wrestling again. But can you imagine, well, I mean, there's not going to be fans, but if there were fans and AJ Lee would come back, can you imagine the fucking pop that would happen if that fucking, however her fucking song goes, I don't know. But yeah, those are my surprises. Alright, so now I'm going to get to, there's 4 other ones. There's who I want to win, who will probably win, an unexpected winner that nobody's really talking about, and a winner who would piss everyone off. We're going to start with a winner who would piss everyone off, and that would be Charlotte winning for the second year in a row. She's not going to win, but for some reason, the internet has a insane, vast amount of hate for Charlotte Flair. I don't really get it. She's one of, if not the best, one of the two best women wrestlers in the world right now. I would probably put shit, I just blanked on who I was going to say. Io Shirai there with her. I just totally blanked on who Io Shirai. I couldn't think of Io Shirai's name. But yeah, I would put her and Charlotte right there together. My unexpected winner, and I'm not sure if she's ready to come back yet, but if she does come back, who I would want to win would change. I don't expect her to be in the Royal Rumble, but it would be unexpected. My unexpected winner would be Becky Lynch. I would have 3, 2 for 30. 3, 2, 1. Oh! Becky come out. She wins, and her and Asuka continue their feud that they had to leave off with last year when Seth Rollins knocked Becky up. Who I want to win, I really, really want Rhea Ripley to win. I think this is probably her year because she's done everything she can in NXT. There's really nothing left for her to do. It's time for her to be on the main roster. Who will win, and this would be really fucking stupid. I really hope they don't do it, but I've got a really bad feeling they're going to. Who I think will win is Bianca Belair. Those of you who know me know I cannot stand Sasha Banks. My opinion of Bianca Belair is she is the Big Lots version of Sasha Banks. You know, being athletic does not make you a competent wrestler to be a champion. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Look at Tom McGee. Everybody thought Tom McGee was the next fucking Hulk Hogan and could do backflips, and without Bret Hart in the ring with him, he couldn't fucking walk and talk at the same time. Bianca is not a good wrestler. She's athletic. She is not a good wrestler. She should not win the Royal Rumble. But Vince and the company have a hard-on for Bianca Belair, so she's probably going to win. That'll make me really sad, and I think it'll be really fucking stupid. But, yeah, that's who I think will win the Women's Royal Rumble. Now on to the Men's Royal Rumble. Like I said, you really can't pinpoint, like, okay, that guy's probably going to win, like you could the last few years. The last time you really couldn't pinpoint who was going to win was 2016 when the belt was on the line. Roman defended it coming in at 1. But yeah, I truly, like, if I was a betting guy, I would not know who to put my money on this year. And that's what makes the Intercontinental title, son of a bitch, the Royal Rumble, so entertaining and interesting this year, is because there's such a variable, like, you just don't know who's going to win. But okay, the quickest elimination I think is probably going to be Otis. They've wasted Otis. To me, if there was anybody who was a victim of not being able to have fans around this year, it was him. I think if there were fans around, he would have kept Money in the Bank. He would have cashed in at some point. Even if he lost it the next week, you would have had Otis as world champion probably for 6 days. But yeah, he's just comedy fodder now. He, unfortunately will never get to the heights he had before, which is sad, but that's how things go in WWE. Vince likes you 1 minute, he thinks you're fucking stupid the next. My Iron Man for the Royal Rumble is Daniel Bryan. Me, personally, if Daniel Bryan's going to win, I would have him come in at number 1 and go the whole way through, because that would be the way to start building him up for Roman, because that's who he would challenge, is Roman Reigns, and in my opinion. My NXT entries, I couldn't decide between either guy, but Tommaso Ciampa, he's really done everything there is for him to do in NXT, but I know he said he doesn't really want to come to the main roster because he doesn't think his body would hold up, but I think he's almost a lock to be in the Royal Rumble because he hasn't been in one yet. And the other guy I couldn't really decide on between Ciampa and him was Karrion Kross. I think Kross is being wasted in NXT. I think he's a main roster, main event caliber talent right now. But, Hunter likes to keep his shiny new toys in NXT for a little bit. Okay, so the realistic and unrealistic surprises. My realistic surprises are John Cena and big match Brock Lesnar. My unrealistic surprises, he's not going to re-sign with Ring of Honor. If you're going to debut him, for WWE, this would be the place to do it. One of them is Dalton Castle, who I think would thrive in NXT, and CM Punk's my other one. He keeps dropping hints. He's not going to be in the Royal Rumble as much as I would love to see it because I love CM Punk. I always have. I always will. I've literally had this wristband since 2012, and the only time I take it off is when I shower. But yeah, I don't think that if Punk's going to come back, I don't think they want to waste it in front of no fans. That's just my opinion. Okay, so winner who would piss everyone off is John Cena, even though I think him and Roman or him and Drew would be phenomenal matches at WrestleMania because Cena, like the last 5-6 years, when he gets into the ring with somebody who's really good, his matches are incredible. Cena's the kind of guy, like, he plays up or down to his competition. That's why he has the fans have such the opinion of him, because when he wrestles guys who aren't very good, his matches aren't very good. But when he wrestles guys, as much as I don't fucking like him, like an AJ Styles, like Miz, like Roman, like Nakamura, those matches are great because Cena's in the ring with another competent performer. What better way for Cena to potentially win number 17 than to win the Royal Rumble to have to do it? My unexpected winners are, it's a guy nobody's talking about. I talked about his fiance earlier. She was my unexpected winner for the Women's Royal Rumble. Seth Rollins. I think Seth coming back as a face and going up against Roman would be really good. I've told people that, and they're like, well, Rollins was a face when he left. I'm like, the fucking fan base won't remember. It's been like 3 months. The WWE fan base doesn't remember last week, let alone 3 months ago. My who I want to win is Big E or Karrion Kross. Just because I've seen money signs on Big E from the very day that first day I saw him wrestle. I think he's a world champion caliber performer. It should have been him at WrestleMania 30. As much as I loved the moment with Kofi, it should have been Big E. It wasn't even supposed to be Kofi. It was supposed to be Mustafa Ali. That's not just a storyline. Ali was supposed to get that match at WrestleMania with Daniel Bryan, but he got hurt. But yeah, Big E would be wonderful. And then they talk about how they have huge plans for Karrion Kross. They want him to be a superstar. What better way to make him into a fucking superstar than have him walk in his first night in the company on the main roster, win the Royal Rumble, and then have him go to WrestleMania? Can you imagine Karrion Kross versus Drew McIntyre or Roman Reigns? Like, that gives me what I call a wrestling boner. Like, that gets me so fucking excited. Like, I can barely contain myself. Like, those matches would be outstanding. They would be hoss fights to the max. And if I was booking, I would book Kross to win the Royal Rumble and then go on to beat Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. Because I don't think they'd put him over Roman, but who the fuck knows? And then who will win? I think it'll be Daniel Bryan or Brock Lesnar. I wouldn't mind either guy winning. I think there are more deserving guys that actually would need it more than they do. I think Big E needs it more. Kross would benefit immensely from getting that opportunity. But, just imagine, Lesnar comes out, Lesnar wins the Royal Rumble. Then on SmackDown, Heyman's like, oh yeah, I talked to Brock. He's going to go fight Drew. You're safe, Roman. You don't have to worry about Brock. And then Roman and Heyman are out cutting a promo, and then fucking Brock's music hits. And then Heyman's like, oh, fuck. A face Brock Lesnar would be the most over guy in the company. Remember that 2-year run he had from WrestleMania 31 to WrestleMania 33 where he did not hold the WWE Championship? He was the most over guy on the card. He was the most popular guy. He was getting the biggest reactions. Brock doesn't need to be the champion to be on the show. I think he would even lose to Roman at WrestleMania. But this would be the first time the fans would actually be engaged and excited about a Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar match at WrestleMania because the roles would be flipped. You got Brock as the confident babyface. You've got Roman as the cowering heel with Heyman in his corner. I think it would make for great television. Daniel Bryan winning and facing Roman Reigns would make for great television. I think Daniel will probably get one more title run before he retires. I don't think he'll wrestle much longer. I'd give him maybe another year or two, but this would be a nice feather in his cap. The last thing he really needs is, because he's won Money in the Bank, he won the main event of WrestleMania. Give him a Royal Rumble win. But yeah, those are my predictions for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view this year. Like I said, I'm very, very excited for this pay-per-view. It's my favorite. Actually, I prefer the Royal Rumble over WrestleMania anymore. I think it's just because I've been to Mania now, and I've never been to the Royal Rumble, so I haven't experienced yet. So it's still like I'm like a little kid who hasn't got the forbidden fruit of going to the Royal Rumble. But yeah, those are my predictions. And I just want to end this. I haven't recorded any videos since the unfortunate passing of Brody Lee, John Huber, Luke Harper, whatever you want to call him. He was one of my favorites. I don't get sad at deaths. I was upset, but I wasn't, I guess, to say sad when Brody passed. But then I watched the AEW tribute, and then I saw all the videos that came out, and the AEW tribute got me. I had tears streaming down my face. I've loved Luke since I saw him on TV in Cleveland, Ohio, in front of 30 people wrestling. I saw him wrestle M-Dog Matt Cross in front of 25 people. I knew he was a star from the first time I saw him, but it was such an unfortunate thing. He was genuinely loved by you can just hear it, the way people talk about him. And then, today or a couple days ago, his wife kind of put out a timeline of things, how they happened with Brody. And it reminds me, unfortunately, of a guy I knew in Cleveland. His name was Chandler Biggins, where he got sick very suddenly. It looked like he was going to do all right, and then he just crashed and unfortunately passed away. But I'll tell one Brody story. I met him, I think, at I met him in San Jose, Dallas, and then in New York for WrestleMania. He was actually the very last person I met at Access in New York, and I round the corner to get my picture with him, and he's wearing a Stan Nikita's donut shirt. If you're unfamiliar with that, it's from the movie Wayne's World. Stan Nikita was Ed O'Neill. I grew up on Wayne's World. It's one of my favorite movies. So I bowed to him and said, I love your shirt. He said, oh, you know about Stan Nikita's? I'm like, I grew up on Wayne's World. He gave me a hug and shook my hand and put his arm around me. And then the bastard kayfabed me about being in the Andre Battle Royal. I asked him if he was going to be there. He goes, I don't know. I don't think so. But it's unfortunate that he passed away. He was really hitting his stride in AEW. It's like Matt Hardy said and Chris Jericho said. He was proving what all of us who loved Brody Lee knew, that he was a main event caliber performer. And I'm just really sad we're not going to get to see that anymore. But the things they've been doing with Brody Lee Jr., -1, how they're kind of continuing the Dark Order stuff, I think it's a really nice tribute to him. And I didn't want to make a whole video and get sad and depressed. But I thank Brody Lee for all the entertainment he gave me, the times he was very nice to me. And I hope everybody remembers him for what he was, a tremendous wrestler, but even a better man. So I thank everybody for watching. I'm excited for the Royal Rumble. We're on the road to WrestleMania. It's the best time of year as a wrestling fan. So thank you guys very much. I'll see you next time.